Morning folks, another day in the workshop and plenty to do. But I'm going to be having this Land Rover here for a little bit longer yet. Had a word with a customer yesterday while it's in, as well as getting it ready for MOT. He wants it respraying, so lots to do. I don't know if you can hear that folks, but there's actually a sign on the outside of that wall, and it's a bit breezy, and there's a screw that keeps sort of coming in and out of the metal sheeting. Bloody annoying. More so because it's the previous tenant's sign which needs to come down. So yesterday we did the back doors. I don't know if you saw the video to that. I'll put a link in the description maybe. And what else have we got to do? I've still got the prop shaft bolts to sort, which I'm going to do today. There was a bit of play in the anti-roll bar at the back, so I'll have to address that. And then the respray. Yeah. I think what I'm going to do is take the body sides off completely and just do one at a time, lay them flat, and I can literally lay the paint on them. With those out the way, the rest of the rear body can be sort of painted where it is. Need to paint the chassis so I can tip the body and get under there. Definitely going to have to take the roof rack off and all the little sort of knickknacks, grills, bars, maybe wheel arches, snorkel. Yeah, that'll keep me busy for a while. Now, it doesn't have to be a show winning finish, but it at least wants to look tidy from this distance, shall we say. At the moment she looks a bit scabby, bless her. Oh well, let's crack on. So, got the flange off the back of the gearbox. The gearbox was actually a recon box that was fitted here when the other tenant was in charge, and I know the rear flange was changed after the gearbox went in. The original one was all corroded on there, and I believe it was actually the previous tenant who put this on. And now I didn't, because to stop the bolts rotating, there's a dot of weld, and I'm getting close enough folks, there's been zero penetration onto the back of the flange. And I bet they were sat flat and true when it was welded on, because all those bolts were loose, obviously except that one which had snapped. Dear oh dear. Oh, can sort that out. Well folks, just put the new studs in there, because there's no other way to retain them. I've adopted the method of a bit of weld. However, I'm sure that'll hold on a bit better. So all that's left to do now is to put this stupid like seal guard on and get it back on the box. Well folks, I've got the gearbox backing plate back on, the flange back on, the handbrake drum back on. So now I just need to adjust the handbrake up. So handbrake drum back on, rotates very freely. Just up in there, you might not be able to see that, there's a bolt head, 17mm, and if we tighten that up, oh, that's locked. That should do it. Just rubbing. Right. Do I put the prop shaft back on? Yeah, bugger it, why not? And if you'd noticed, folks, fetch the Rover V8 heads back up here. I'll be getting on with those shortly in the block. I'll get the block honed out, ready for some new piston rings, and some new shell bearings for the crankshaft, get the bottom end together. At the moment she's just hiding in there. And we've got the Essex V6 heads next to it. And again, we'll be getting on with that soon. So much to do. Obviously it's a bit quiet, folks, but YouTube doesn't like having music on. I get a bit shitty with it. So whenever I'm filming, I have to turn the radio off. Such is life. Well, folks, that's the prop shaft back on. As I was walking out, I noticed we've got a bit of a damp patch. And there's only one thing above that. So take a look. You can see in there, folks. What just tucked away in there is it the fuel sender unit or the fuel gauge sender? And that's just got wires on it. Go over to the seals leaking. Bit hard to see. Oh no, there's a pipe. That's probably the feed pipe. Yeah, well, that's another job for the list. Well, folks, that's another day done. Another job off the list. Still a few jobs on that list. But that's for another day. See what tomorrow brings. Good morning, folks. Another day in the workshop. Another job on the Land Rover. Never ends. So, what am I with today? You might ask. The delightful Defender. So yesterday got the back doors done, and while I was underneath I noticed the old girl has a damp patch. You can see on that anti-roll bar and on the tank it's wet, and that tank is going to have to come out, because that's the seal that's leaking just down there, and that ain't coming out. So I shall unbolt the tank and drop it down. Right, shits and giggles, folks. Let's see how much fuel's in it. Place your bets now. Let's have a look. That's a bit bright. And you can see the fuel gauge, folks. that one. Turn the ignition on. Okay. Oh, fucking delightful. 3/4 of a tank, at least. Have to remove that first. Fuel is a bit heavy. Literally just to change seal. Oh well, no point crying about it. Well folks, with having a full tank, I need the diesel out. Now yes, there's a drain plug on the bottom of the tank, but I don't really want to take it out and disturb it. So just adapt and overcome. Little electric fuel pump I have. Leave that to do its thing. Well, that's the fuel out. All the pipe work now undone. Seems a bit of rust in that tank. So what I need to do now is unbolt the tank itself. Some of the pipes were a bit fiddly. Some came straight off, which is always good. So let's just pop underneath, ignoring the messy pit. Said tank. 4 bolts hold it up, and I'm going to say either the tow bar support bars are going to have to come off. Not sure about the anti-roll bar. However, for MOT, there's a bit of play in there, so I might have to address that anyway. So, let's get the tank out. So, got the tank off, folks, and I'm pretty sure it's the seal behind there that's leaking. However, it might not be, it could be the actual sender unit itself. Also noticed when the bottom tray came apart then, that rust doesn't look good. We'll have to give that a paint before it goes back, same with the fuel tank. And, well, the fuel tank's out. I'll give it a clean out in there and paint it before the tank goes back in. Yeah, sounds like a plan. Right, time to get the sender out. I don't know why you can see that, folks. No, it just needs a tap round and simply remove. Yeah, don't know how long it's been in there. The 1998 Land Rover could have been in there for a long time. Yeah, I'll give it a tap, see if it moves. Have a chance of moving. Cut out there and cut out there, so I'm guessing. Ooh, there's a bit of movement. Where to prise it from? Coming. Come on, dick fingers. There we go, folks. One locking ring. And then the question is, was it the seal and something else? Put that on there, we'll give that a clean in a minute. Doesn't look too bad, folks. So was that leaking, or is it the sender unit itself? Well, folks, as I suspected, it's not actually the seal that was leaking, it's this wanky plastic fitting. If I can demonstrate for you. Yeah, block that off, folks, and you look in this area. Just pushed a lot of fuel out. So, we need a new sender unit. Well, on that bombshell, I might as well unbolt the anti-roll bar completely. Because there's a bit of play in the bushes. So that's out while I've got the space. Yay! Well, folks, kind of held up the parts for the tank till I get a sender unit. Had a feeling it might not just be the seal. Got the anti-roll bar off. We need to do something with the bushes. The drop link ball joints are okay, but these bushes are a bit slack. So there you go. Rectify those in some old-fashioned methods. So yeah, I suppose really while waiting for bits I can start cleaning stuff up under here. Get it ready for a coat of paint. Get the roof rack off. And some other bits and pieces from the cab. And make a start on repainting that. But not today. Well, that's another day in the workshop, folks. Day off tomorrow. I'll go to the Railway Museum at York. I'm not sure when this video will go up, so it may already be up and about. It may never exist, depending on how many people are there. So, back in the workshop Friday. Good morning, folks. It's Friday again. And it's meant to be a warm one. So it's going to be an absolute bloody oven in here later. Had the day off yesterday, went to the Railway Museum, which was nice. And today, I'm back on with the Land Rover. So let's take a look at today's little jobs to do. So Wednesday got the sender unit out of the tank. And it wasn't just the seal, it's also the fitting on there that's leaking. So I've got a new one coming. In the meantime, I think we'll give this fuel tank a clean off and a coat of paint before it goes back on. Same with the skid shield that, oh, excuse me, goes over it, under it. Yeah, that's not good. I don't know, it would appear my little struggle bus as a leak. Better get it on the ramp, folks. Well, this is a bit non-productive. Now, over the years, something I've noticed is that jobs, or types of jobs, normally come in threes. Or three happen at the same time. Let me explain. Got the fuel tank off the Land Rover. It had a leak. A friend of mine just came in. He had a trailer parked in the yard, and apparently his car has just started leaking on the seam of the tank. So there's number 2 fuel leak. And here's number 3. My little struggle bus. feeling up on that ledge up there. It's very wet. So I'd say the seam's gone on the tank, which is bloody typical because there's about 3/4 of tank in it. So I think what I'll do for now is just actually drain some fuel out, which will hopefully stop the leak, and look at getting another tank. You ungrateful little fucker. Diesel fan just blowing air. Oh, that's better. Sorry if it's a bit noisy. So just cleaning this fuel tank up. You can see where the plate below it's been sat, and the rust. And there's a lot of rust and starting around the seam. So I'm just cleaning it off. I'll give it a coat of paint, I think. Well, I think I've kind of got the rust off the tank. I'm not going for a showroom finish, just functionality here. I want to get rid of the rust, get a coat of paint on it, and protect it, because otherwise it will rot out before long, just like the one on my car has. So let's get some paint on. Bit of etch primer first. It's formaldehyde in it. Lovely. Well, I've got some paint on the tank, and tomorrow I might just come up and start making some progress on the little Rover V8. Well folks, that was my week. Hope you all had a good one. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing and all that jazz. I'll catch you on the next one.